Sunview has asked, was Al's match against Kerry Von Erich at the Chase in St. Louis in 1982 his first ever televised match? And if not, what were his earliest television matches and who were they against?
Actually, that was I had one other match prior to that, like two weeks prior to that, May 11th of 1982. My very first match ever was a two-ring over the top rope battle royal, 20-man over the top rope battle royal in Springfield, Ohio. And then 2 weeks later, I was out at the Chase, and the very first match I ever had and first televised match was with Kerry Von Erich. Yeah, that day. And because you entrance into the business and to learn it, you came in as a job guy, and the term, so that everybody understands what a job guy is. Not even the wrestlers know some of these terms anymore. Back in the day, you as a wrestler, if you were in the territory itself, where you made your money was on the live events. The wrestling on TV was considered a commercial because you're the product, and you were never paid for TV. You were paid when you went on the live event. Even if you lost on TV, it wasn't called doing a job; it's called doing a favor, because it's always expected to be returned back to you if circumstances change. And even if you lost regularly on TV, you were on TV. That meant that your name on the poster at a live event was a factor in how many people showed up. So you got a paid percentage of the gate. But if you weren't making money off of the live events, you were brought in strictly just for TV. It was not an opportunity. It was hence a job. You were performing a task. And that's where the term job guy or doing the job came from. And you were paid that day, like if they did 3 weeks of TV, if you had 3 matches, you were paid 25 to 40 or, whatever for each individual match that you did, because you performed a job, a task for each individual thing. And even to where some of the top guys, if you made them look really good, really put them over, would pay you out of their own pocket, money, and basically, hey, thanks, kid. And they'd give you an extra 50 or $60, give you a bump because of the fact that you made them look even better to be able to draw much more, at an event.
Can I ask you this then? So obviously jobbers and job guys, and that's the more pejorative term. Of the
Yeah.
enhancement guys, who were basically career enhancement guys, who did you think did the best in their role?
Probably, and those guys were not called jobbers or job guys. They were called carpenters.
Hmm.
And you need carpenters in the wrestling business. So carpenters were guys that you could build a house with, but you couldn't draw one with. They were missing, they were great, they were solid, they were believable, but they just were missing that little something that would allow them to draw a house. And a guy like George South, I think, probably is one of the more, preeminent ones that come to mind as far as, he's just such a, he was a, perpetual carpenter. But he, did such a great job. I mean, he was, and then in recent times, like Funaki was, in that role for a long time. And Funaki was the gateway guy for WWE. There was always a gateway guy, meaning there was a guy that the promoter knew, if you can't have a good match with this guy, you can't have a good match.
Like Johnny
But he was also
Rods or
there.
Barry Horowitz
Yeah,
or something
Johnny
like that, yeah.
Rods. Yeah. And they were also a guy that, that the promoter also knew it was a test. It wasn't just to see if you could have a good match, like a good, solid, believable match. It was to see if you knew how to be a star, and a lot of guys fail that test because they show up and they go, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to show this, promoter I can do stuff. And they know you can. They know you can wrestle, because if they didn't think you did, you wouldn't be there. Okay. What they're really testing to see is if you know how to do business. You've got a Barry Horowitz or a George South or a Funaki, and they're at the very bottom of the card. They want to see if you know how to go out there and elevate yourself and use that guy to make yourself look better. Or are you going to go out there and try to have a competitive match with this guy, which means that you're either bringing yourself down to his level or bringing him up to yours. And if you don't know how to do that, then if they see potential in you, the best that you can hope for is that they're going to send you to the developmental to not learn how to wrestle, but to learn how to be a star, learn how to be an attraction that they then in turn will be able to have a return on their investment. Um, you know, but if you don't, inevitably what you're going to end up doing is going out there and you're going to blow your chance because you're going to try to focus more on what you do and not how you look.